Playing is one of the most healthy things we can do for ourselves. Most people spend their time saying yes to everyone else, doing all the chores, everything you have to do around the house. And at the end of the day, there's not enough time or energy to go out and play. What are your takeaways when it comes to playing, having fun?
So I also have a lot of fun in my work. What I don't have a lot of is fun outside. Nobody I know loves to be outside as much as you love to be outside. It's a Norwegian thing that people love to be outside.
Being in nature, it reduces stress, boosts your immune system. And when you're actually doing something where you're moving, which is challenging, outdoors in the terrain, right? Where like it's constantly changing. All of these factors help your brain focus better, gives you better attention, and helps you perform better.
We have that climate in Canada too. We have more Arctic Circle than Norway does, but we just don't do it. This is your permission.
Cool. How's your friluftsliv experience?
So far, so good. It's been 6 months of wanting to come to Norway to figure out friluftsliv. And the biggest thing I got was actually an appreciation for my own country as well, realizing that, oh, we have almost all of this in Canada as well. And we just don't have the philosophy of the being outdoors, being outside. I think most people are just always trying to be safe and comfortable and warm and spend 10 minutes outside a day versus hours. So it's been a super fun experience so far. I can't wait to go. I've already started making changes to my schedule for when I get home, which is great.
It is. Yeah, that's so cool. So you're here in Norway.
Yep.
And I've told all my friends that you're here from Canada to experience Norwegian outdoor life.
Yes.
And everyone's like, but Canada, they have all this amazing nature. And I do explain to them that it's not in the culture to be outdoors in the same way.
Yeah, I think, and from spending time with you in Hemsedal, which was awesome, the two main things, one is pulling from at least my understanding of Norwegian culture, which is just everybody gets outside, everybody loves to be outside, everybody is hiking or skiing or snowboarding or whatever, but you have to get outside, which we have the environment, but we don't have the mindset, the culture. That's not part of it. We went to Tromsø, we just came back. It was freezing and no sun, and but awesome. Like, we were on a trip, we did a little mini tour, and we had a couple from Singapore with us, 5 people from Brazil, and then the 2 of us, and 2 people from Poland. And you can slowly see people drop off. Like, the Brazilians were the first ones to go back to the warm bus. Then the 2 Singaporeans, slowly went back to the bus, and it was just us and the Polish, and then the Polish people went back to the bus, and it was just us and our guide who was from Norway, who were outside for 5 hours, just waiting for the Northern Lights to show up and, making food on the campfire. And I realized that for, Brazilian, Singapore, their culture, their temperature is completely different. So for them to be here is an experience, right? And for us, like, we have this weather, like it's the same weather.
You even have colder weather in Toronto.
We have colder weather than Oslo,
Yeah.
but even Tromsø, we have that climate in Canada too. We have more Arctic Circle than Norway does, right? Like, it's a heat,
Yeah.
but we just don't do it. So like that part of just get outside, the clothes really make a difference. I mean, the whole expression of there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing is super true. And we just don't layer up, you gave us some, what we call it, long underwear, but it's base layer, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, makes such a huge difference. You like don't feel as cold going outside. He's crazy. So I think that philosophy is something that I already started. I was already trying to do 5 hours outside a day, which might be even more than what Norwegians are doing.
Probably.
But yeah, it's like continuing that philosophy, but that is not a uniquely, like, when I met you in Toronto, it was for me, a uniquely Anniken thing. Like, nobody I know loves to be outside as much as you love to be outside, at least in North American circles, right? It's a weird thing how much you love to be outside, but it's actually not that weird in Norway, right? Like, it's a Norwegian thing that people love to be outside, which I love. The thing I pulled from you, that is maybe not as much Norwegian, is just the desire to have fun and build play into your life.
Yeah.
Right. And so plug and play, I've heard, I don't know how many times now, for you, which is great. The idea of designing your life around making work easy and then also making fun easy. So having a place in Hemsedal right on the slope so you can just put your skis on and you're literally snowboarding right down the hill. Even this studio here is just like you come in and everything is going to be set up perfectly for, YouTube when you're taking off with it. And so the immediate change that I made was 3 o'clock. I'm ending my day at home, and I booked the season pass at I have a snowboard hill 5 minutes from my house, and so 3 o'clock, and that's when they open. For they have school stuff in the morning, but 3 o'clock they open, so I'm gonna head there at 3 o'clock and snowboard and have some fun and try to remember what your husband taught me to do on the slopes, and you too. And so you've done a really good job, I think, of designing your life around engineering fun, which may not be Norwegian. I don't know.
No, no, no. It's definitely like I see people around me in Norway,
Yeah.
they are struggling in life. They're not having fun. They're working too much and they are overloaded
Right.
because normally people don't really know what's important to them. First of all, like what are their values? What gives them meaning in life? And if they start to tap into that and realize, okay, these are the things that I find interesting, or this is my passion, they still don't allow themselves to take time to do that, or set aside time only for fun, because that's not productive for very many people. So most people spend their time saying yes to everyone else, taking care of everyone else, going to work, doing all the chores, everything you have to do around the house. And at the end of the day, there's not enough time or energy to go out and play, right? Normally people do that up until they have kids, and after they have kids, they just stop playing. So I know that you're really into high performance, health, and all of that. So what are your takeaways when it comes to playing, having fun, performance, etc.?
Yeah. So I also have a lot of fun in my work, right? So that's also part of the challenge is like work is fun. Like this, we're doing this podcast. This is fun. This isn't part of my like work bucket. And so a lot of what I do is just fun naturally anyway. But what I don't have a lot of is fun outside. And so that's where the snowboarding or doing things with friends, I think would be valuable, or at least it's an experiment now to test. And I think too, booking it with other people. And so I've already set up my schedule. I mean, in the last 3 days since I've been away from Hemsedal and off in Tromsø and had some time to think. And uh, the life that we had in Hemsedal, it was only 4 days or 5 days, but I would wake up super early because I'm jet lagged, and I just wake up earlier. Nobody's awake. You were the second one, awake. And then the whole house woke up, slowly over time. I think Nina's probably the last. Uh, and so I just worked in the morning and got all my stuff done in the morning. Nobody was awake yet back home, but I got it all done. And then we went off and hiked or snowboarded or whatever. And I think for the more, I actually think for me, I'm more creative at night or later on in the day than I am in the morning.
Okay.
And if I know I have stuff to get done, it actually limits my creativity. And so I used to have a block of time in the morning for uh, whatever creative project I wanted to work on, but it's still like in the back of my head, like, "Oh, I gotta get back to these people. And so what I've switched it to is do all my work in the morning where I have to get back to people and check Slack messages and emails and Instagram and whatever else has to get done, and just get that done. And then that frees up the rest of the day to do whatever, whether that's podcasts, whether it's interviews, whether that's snowboarding, um, anything else. And so I think knowing your style, for me, just getting it all done in the morning, and it worked out great in Hempstead. I got all my work done in a couple hours when I first woke up. Nobody was there except your dog, which is great. And then we spent the rest of the day snowboarding and hiking. But doing it with other people was another takeaway for me.
Yeah.
So you were great. I mean, we went snowboarding together. Nina, I was doing it with her as well. Your husband was awesome. So when I'm going home, I'm snowboarding Monday to Friday. Uh, Nina can't do Monday, Tuesday because she has other commitments on those days. So I'm going to go with her Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 3 o'clock. And then I booked two friends to go with me on the Monday and the Tuesday. So that's already done. Moved most of my schedule around to make that happen. And then the weekends, we're looking at whether it's a cabin, we're playing around with it.
Yeah.
But it was the main goal for me coming here was to kind of experience free loose leave, and I realized, I'm already doing a lot of it,
You are.
but the fun outdoor element wasn't happening. Most of my fun, I'd say, is inside, and so trying to build more fun outdoors
Yeah.
around it. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do come the spring and summer when there's no snowboarding, so I'll have to figure that part out. What do we do? But that tradition of just having fun outside with people, I think
Yeah.
is really valuable. So I think the bringing the Norwegian culture, the free loose leave of just being outside, which is everybody, but again, that's not what we have in Canada. And then specifically from you, the outdoor fun part. I'm pulling away, and I made changes already to my schedule, so I'm super excited to
Oh,
apply.
it's so cool.
Yeah.
So, in terms of doing, like, I love my work as well. Like, I could sit indoors and work all day long and have fun. And then we know the health benefits of being outdoors, right? We know the health benefits of moving, like getting movement in, and doing things which are fun, which is actually playing. So all humans have a need to play. It's a biological need. But with all the everyday stress, we just forget it. There's no room for it. But we actually need to play. If you look at animals, they play as well, right? So we're supposed to play. And playing is one of the most healthy things we can do for ourselves. Like, it changes our body chemistry, it reduces stress. So having fun and playing, although work is fun, it's a different kind of fun, right? So when you're outdoors, it's good for you. Like, being in nature, it reduces stress, boosts your immune system, etc. And when you're actually doing something where you're moving, which is challenging, where you have dynamic movements, especially outdoors in the terrain, right? Where, like, it's constantly changing. All of these factors help your brain focus better, gives you better attention, and helps you perform better. And, like, I've always thought that, okay, if you just take time off to do what you think is fun, which really fills your cup, and if that is also healthy, like, some people go like, okay, the most fun thing I can do is watch Netflix or something like that.
Right.
But really, that's not the sustainable kind of dopamine, right? And if we could just, like, all see that, okay, the most fun thing is developing ourselves, learning, challenging, having, like, progressing within something. And when all of that, like, so, I like to be efficient. We spoke so much in Hemsedal, and we're like, okay, how do you do your tacos? I'm like, they're really simple. It's all about simplicity. Like, when I'm at home in Oslo, between, like, Monday to Friday, like, my life is so simple. We have the same food for breakfast, lunch, dinner. I wear the same clothes every day. Like, I do the same stuff. It's simplicity because time is valuable. So I'm thinking, if I can stack more things that are valuable to me and healthy and beneficial within the same time slot, even better. Like, check all the boxes. Being outdoors, great for your health. Moving, great for your health. Being together with people you like being together with, super good for your health. And doing things that are fun and meaningful, super good for your health. Energy, performance, etc. So it's like you're ticking several boxes at the same time. Change isn't linear. It's a process, and you learn every day. I've created an audio file that reprograms your subconscious mind to fall asleep faster and stay asleep and go through all of the sleep cycles you need to go through throughout the night. Just click the link below and you can download it so that you get that extra little help and can get into really good sleeping habits. And, like, I heard this really, like, famous keynote speaker in Norway said, "Oh, it's such a pity that all good things are so bad for you." I'm like, that's not right. Because the way I look at it is that doing the things that are really fun is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I love that. And I think doing it together with people just makes it even more fun. So I mean, Nina, my wife, hasn't been on a snowboard in, I don't know, 15 years or something. So she was a little earlier in the progression. So I spent most of my time with her, but you and I went out a couple times on the bigger hills, which was a lot of fun. And you were very patient with me as I was then the beginner, slowly weaving my way down. But doing it together is awesome. I think that can be a challenge for people that either their spouse doesn't want to do anything, or they don't have friends who are active. And as adults, it can be hard to make new friends. Uh, and so you have to be the person to involve others in it. Like, one, can you find something that you can do with your partner if you have a partner, right? So Nina and I will salsa dance, which is great. It's active, it's fun, it's progression, it ticks a lot of the boxes, it's social connection. There's other people there, but it's all indoor. You're not doing outdoor salsa parties. Sometimes
It's still really great for you.
it's so great for you, and active. Personally, I've been very, I mean, I'm on a trampoline all day, like I have a lot of activity built in, but the outdoor activity, I think it hasn't been an intention yet with me and Nina. It hasn't been in our awareness, so we didn't optimize for. And so now that your husband taught Nina how to snowboard, we can do our snowboarding, which is awesome. And then now I'm already thinking, okay, but what do we do in the spring? What do we do in the summer? What would be fun for us to do together? And then asking people to do stuff if it's not you're going to be your partner, and finding a social circle, whether it's joining the club or joining the group. I asked because I knew Monday and Tuesday Nina was going to come with me. I could go by myself. It's fine. I'm an introvert. It's okay. I could do it. But I'm trying to involve other people. It's like what are the lessons I'm taking away from Norway, and from maybe from you more specifically. Um, and so I messaged two people. One person said no. Like, okay, so he said no, so I need to find a backup person. But I found that person. It was still relatively quickly. And these are people I didn't know if they snowboarded, didn't know if they have an interest, didn't know if it'd be fun for them or not. But they both, now 2 to 3 people I asked said yes. And so now we'll see. Maybe they don't show up. Maybe one is super late and I have to swap them out. But I think it requires a level of proactivity to start reaching out to people. And these are not like my closest friends. They're not people that I know super deeply well, but it's a chance to connect. They're athletic-ish. So I thought, hey, maybe they want to snowboard. Um, but the takeaway becomes, one, what can you do? Put an intention to you and your partner, if you have a partner, on what can you do together to get outside? What would be fun for both of you? Because I would do a lot of things and Nina doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she doesn't want to go on bikes. She doesn't want to go like super fast. She doesn't want to. So cool. I need to kind of adjust, right? Because if it's just myself, then now you're requiring, more discipline and willpower. And then two, who can you reach out to in your friend group who might join you on some of these things,
Yeah.
so that you're not doing things by yourself. And it may not check all the boxes of what a perfect friend would be, right? But you're out there at least doing this activity together,
Yeah.
sharing and growing together.
As long as you can share. Like, all friends are not for all parts of your life.
Yeah.
And your partner will probably not be for all parts of your life either. I think it's important, as you say, that you find something together that you can do outdoors, something which is fun, playing, just being together. But it doesn't have to be all parts of life. I do think that a lot of people forget about that. When they have kids, they start running the family business or the house, the kids, everything, and there's no room for being girlfriend, boyfriend. There's no room for doing fun stuff together. So we have intentionally, ever since the kids were born, set aside time to go and do things, the two of us, because a lot of people, they wait until the kids get older.
Yeah.
And that's like, what, 20 years? And then you're suddenly like, oh, who are you? What do we have in common? And you grow apart instead of like deciding, well, we'll learn something new. If it's salsa or snowboard or whatever, we'll develop together and we'll grow together instead. So I think those are choices you need to make early on or as soon as possible and just stick with it. And it's so easy in a busy everyday life to say, oh, no, we'll just skip that today. And like, it's just my partner. We were just going out and having fun. I can skip that and do work instead. But I think it's really important to honor that time, put it in your calendar, and then just really do it. If it's every week or every month, whatever, do something with your partner. And when it comes to friends, you know, in business, and you know this as well, in business, personal development, we grow all the time, and not everyone around us will grow with us, right? So you probably have friends from this period, that period, and then you're growing, and not all of them will follow you. And it's also the same when it comes to doing these fun activities. You grow into some relationships and you grow out of some relationships. It can be hard, but I think that there's, time is limited. You have those 24 hours per day and you're sleeping 8 of them, I would say, working
I wish I saw this that way. Sleeping 8 of them would be great. That's my next thing I'm solving. Yeah, sleeping 8 would be amazing.
uh, yeah, yeah, we can work on that. And then from my point of view, 8 of those hours should be spent investing in the quality of your life. Playing, health, family, fun. And it's easy to work instead or only do the chores you need to do and just forget about investing in yourself. And I think like those hours are so, so important. And some friends are going to come along for the ride and some are not going to come along.
Hmm. Yeah. You made a great comment too. I mean, we had New Year's with some of your friends, and one person said, "Oh, I don't have the time," and you interrupted and said, "No, no, no, you make the time," right? Which is great. I agree. I think it starts with the belief that it's possible,
Hmm.
because people are mostly fighting for their own stuckness.
Yeah.
Like they feel stuck and they just feel hopeless. And so if you feel, it's really hard to make a powerful, bold decision to replace a hopelessness. And so it's the belief that it's possible, not that maybe they're going to live Anniken's life yet, but that they can have one night a week where they try to do something
Hmm.
fun, right? There's like, if you believe that it's possible, then you can start to engineer your schedule around it. And for me, it all comes down to, it doesn't happen until it's in my schedule, right? So like committing to, okay, 3 o'clock, I'm going to stop and then I'm going to go and snowboard. Will only happen if I say no to meetings and other things. It's got to be in my calendar or it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it starts with the belief that it's possible, even on some small scale for you. Like, is one night a week to go off and have the kids to go with the grandparents or babysitter or whatever, and you go do something that's fun.
Yeah.
Is that doable? Is that achievable? Okay, if I really wanted to, okay, so like just start with that instead of an entire life redesign, which may feel overwhelming and too big. You start with one thing, but what ends up happening is like the one thing starts to snowball. Like we see it happen in salsa classes all the time. I'm sure you see it in snowboarding in other areas, but somebody comes into salsa first time, they're shy, they may have a couple extra pounds on them, they haven't done any activity in a long time, and you look at 3 months later, they've lost weight, they're happier, they have more confidence, they're dressing a little sexier, they're more outgoing, they're less shy. And that has a ripple effect across their entire life, their relationship, their work, their kids, all of it. From a salsa class, which doesn't really have a lot of utility, right? Like snowboarding doesn't give a ton of utility. It's not a skill for most people that you're going to then go and sell, right? But just the act of progression and being outside and having fun and learning and gaining confidence in a new thing has a ripple effect so that you don't just do the same thing every day over and over and over, and your life becomes boring and you start to hate it and you feel trapped and that there's no possible way out, right? So just the belief that it can change, and it can change at any moment. It doesn't have to be, well, I'm going to wait till my kids are, 20, or I needed to get started 5 years ago. Now it's too late. Like you could change it tomorrow if
Yeah.
you wanted to, right? Just a decision to make one small change in one area of your life.
One small. I think a lot of people are waiting for permission, and I know
This is your permission.
at least
This is your permission right now.
and talking like especially women. Like I can't talk for you men, but women with kids, they are so good at putting everyone in front of them and putting their own needs last. And most people, most women I speak to, they feel like it is really selfish if I put my needs first, if I like doing something fun instead of, taking care of the kids or the house or whatever. It like for most people, like they don't even think about it because it is so far out and they would feel ashamed and guilty if they did. So yeah, but it's possible, right?
Yeah, and again, like it may lead to a big life change, but the starting point is one thing this week. Like, can you have Saturday night and do one thing so that the shame and the guilt and the like it's not overwhelming? Is there a way to do one thing per week that is fun outside?
And if you were to give like a great advice to people listening now, okay, everyone's different, they have different interests. What would be like one great thing they can start with this week and then do it again next week that would bring them out of that or bring them into the belief that things are possible and starting to change?
I would probably start with a habit of having something in my ear. So like if you're this deep on this video or podcast, uh, and it sparks something in you, then go subscribe to Anniken, read her books. Like I like to microdose on things, right? So like a book, it takes me a long time to read a book because I'll read like 10 pages. I'll read 7 books at a time and I'll read 10 pages maybe once a day, like maybe 5 or 6 times a week. So it takes me a long time, but I like to microdose with the author because if you're getting something from this video or episode, then the way that Anniken thinks and has guests and asks questions resonates. And so having more of that is a reminder of who you want to be, right? So that would be my first habit because that changes your belief, the belief that it's possible for you. And so subscribe to Anniken. Not like a pitch, I guess, but like get the book, subscribe to Anniken because you need a little bit more of that in your life as a reminder to kind of push you from the external. When the internal is not a big enough push, that you need the external push to help you. So that's step number 1. 2, then in terms of play and outside and making time for yourself, what's something that'd be cool? Like what would be fun? I call it soft adventure. So we try to find something that is a little soft, like snowboarding, the soft adventure, going to Tromsø and doing the reindeer pull and trying to find the northern lights, like some soft adventure outside, something that'd be fun for you, ideally with somebody else. If you have a partner, what could you do together that'd be fun to do? If you don't, or you hate your partner, that's a whole other issue. But with a friend, like start with belief, and so inject like Anniken or somebody into your brain every week to remind you of who you want to be, to get pulled up to a higher level, and then find one thing that you could do this week in your calendar that gives you a couple hours, ideally outside, fun, and just book it. Use this. It's like if you're motivated right now, use the energy to go and do something.
Block that time in your calendar.
Yeah, now. Because like I think the ideas that come to you when you're feeling bold are the right ones for you.
Yeah.
You go away, you listen to a video, a podcast, you go to an event, you get this bold idea. I think that's actually your best you talking. And then you go back to your other environment, your familiar environment, and then you start to play small again and convince yourself. And you're not going to believe a stupid reason, so you believe a really smart reason as to why you can't do the thing.
Always.
And then nothing changes, right? So you just hop from like book to book and seminar to seminar, and nothing actually changes. And so make a decision while you are feeling bold and confident, and use this video episode as the permission to go off and do it, to do one small thing, to book that salsa class or the snowboarding trip or whatever, because that does 2 things. One, it gets you into momentum. The hardest part is just getting started.
Yeah.
Once you get started, it's easier to keep going. And then it's not as difficult as you think. But then 2, you prove to yourself that you're the kind of person who now follows through, right? Because how many people, like you read a book and then you don't do anything, or you come up with goals. I mean, we're filming this at the beginning of the year. People set their New Year's resolutions and then they don't do them. It's not just that you don't do them. You're teaching yourself that you're the kind of person who doesn't follow through. So you don't have confidence in your own decision making. So the next time that you say you're going to do something, you don't believe yourself. Forget about other people. Like you don't believe yourself because you've proven to yourself over and over and over again that you don't follow through on the things you say you're going to do, right? So like if you say I'm going to go do this and then you do it, you start to build a new identity as someone who actually follows through on the thing, which then completely changes your life.
Yeah. Step by step.
So that's what I would do.
Okay, so with the permission from both of us.
Let's go.
What is the boldest thing you can start doing now? And whatever excuse will come into your head at a later point, just meet it with acceptance and then move on, because your brain is always going to try to stop you to do whatever you want to do. And the way it does it is through excuses. So don't believe excuses. Don't believe any thoughts you have in your mind. And just decide now, what is the bold move, the bold thing you really want to do? And you have our permission.
Yeah, Marie Forleo has a great line, friend of the channel, that everything is figure outable,
I love that.
right? So you have an excuse. It's legit. Like, you wouldn't believe it if it has some validation. It has some truth to it. You wouldn't believe it if it didn't have truth. Like, your excuse isn't, oh, like pink elephant's going to drop on me today, right? Like, the excuse is legitimate in some capacity. Cool. But it's also figure outable. There is a way around it. There is a path to you accomplishing your thing. If you wanted to have Saturday night to go salsa dancing, there is a way to figure that out. If you just believe that it's figure outable, then you can go off and do it, even though those excuses are still legit and real. So again, it's just mostly a belief problem, I think. And if you go in thinking, I can figure this out.
It is.
Yeah.
And you just figured out how to put more play into your life and during the winter. And the next step is then.
Yeah. I'm already thinking the fall. That's spring, summer, fall. What are we doing outside? Because like hiking, you do a lot of hiking, but hiking isn't fun in the same way that, like,
It's more like meditation, right? Just walking, you're in nature. It's not progression. It is not dopamine in the same way, right?
yeah, I wouldn't call it like fun.
Yeah.
So I need to find something fun to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, you
We'll
put
find
that in.
something.
Yeah, it's all figure outable. Yeah.
Get it.
To get some more incredible motivation and productivity secrets from Anniken, check the video right there next to me. I think you're going to love it. We'll see you there.